John Beltran and Dave Urick back at Beat Digger Stadium in the opening round of this Class 2A playoff game. Brush leads Bishop Machebeuf by a score of 21-0 on 3 long touchdown runs, 42 and 27 yards by Joe Rosenbrock and a 33-yarder by Tanner Morrow. And as much as we've talked about the offense throughout the course of the season, the defense, I mean, they're doing their job, Dave.
Yep, anybody that wants to run the football, if that's their game, I think they're going to meet their match against the Diggers, with the exception of that, 115 yards by the Eaton quarterback in the first quarter. Nobody's been able to run the ball against the Diggers all year. So, we're in pretty good business when we can force a team to have to throw the football if we can defend the pass.
Yeah, we know that Kevin Murphy, the Bishop Machebeuf quarterback, is a much greater threat from what we've seen in the first half with his arm than with his legs. So that's what the Beat Diggers have got to do, put pressure on the quarterback, and they're not going to be worried about Murphy taking off for 20 or 30 yards on any gain today.
Especially because when he runs that bootleg, it's not like a bootleg like the Diggers do out of their 30 series where they're 5 to 7 yards back and Garcia gets rid of the ball and he's sort of attacking the line of scrimmage. Machebeuf, when he bootlegs out, he's a good probably 10 yards back from the line of scrimmage by the time he sets up.
Right, and that changes everything. But he's looking downfield and primarily trying to throw that football, which, as you mentioned, had some pretty decent success in the opening half. But you know what? If you move the ball in between the 20s and don't score, the Beat Diggers will take that. And they'll also take what they've got right now, a 3-touchdown lead. Bishop Machebeuf gave the football to Brush. They deferred to begin the game, and that ended up burning them. And now they've got to go on offense. And, I mean, that's obviously a good thing when you're down by 21 points. But if the Beat Diggers stop them 3 and outs, if the game's not over already, Brush can put it away early in the third quarter.
Absolutely. And, the other thing is Diggers are going to have the opportunity to choose which direction they want to kick the football. And with the way that wind's been wanting to kick up, they could put Machebeuf in a world of hurt. If they could either pin him back right off the bat and give him poor field position to begin with, or they could plan for that in the fourth quarter and force him to throw against the wind in the fourth. So the Diggers are kind of in the driver's seat there.
I like what the Beat Diggers have done today with their kickoffs. Jesus kicked it off along the sideline once, and you saw Brian Smith run across the field, and he picked up 15 yards, but he ran about 40 yards. Then the last time, it was taken along the sideline, and Ethan Bro stripped the football, unfortunately for Brush. Bishop Machebeuf recovered the ball, but it looks like the Beat Diggers on that kickoff return coverage have been extremely aggressive today, and they've got a game plan going forward.
Yeah, and when they were kicking off after the Eaton game, we stretched that kickoff team out from sideline to sideline and had 5 guys on each side of the kicker, and tonight we're back in that bunch formation on both sides of the kicker. So they're changing things up and making things unusual for Machebeuf, making it hard for them to plan on it.
All right, so the captains are meeting at midfield once again. And as Dave talked about, strictly to determine which goal the Beat Diggers want to defend, because Bishop Machebeuf will receive the second half kickoff. CSU and BYU playing right now from Fort Collins on 94.5 The Ranch. CSU's been your home right here on 1010 CSU football. So with Brush Beat Digger playoff football today, it's on 94.5 The Ranch. And let's see if Bishop Machebeuf does something different even on their return.
Well, they're going to have to hope that Jesus doesn't put a leg into it, because the Diggers are going to be kicking with the wind against or behind their back.
Yeah, when Brush makes that decision, they're not making that decision more for themselves when they have the football, because they know they're going to run it. They're just trying to strategically figure out, what they should do here with Bishop Machebeuf when they've got the football, and they figure if you're up by 21-0, give Bishop Machebeuf the football in the fourth quarter with the wind if you can play your game in the third quarter, and it won't even matter. It won't even matter by the time the game gets to the fourth quarter if you've got an even bigger lead than they do right now. So the Beat Diggers electing to go with the wind. And Cardenas to kick it off. This one is high and short along the sideline, fielded by Rob Nett at the 14-yard line to his right. And Skyler Seawald is going to make a great play and spin him down at the 16-yard line. Again, great kickoff return coverage by the Beat Diggers.
Seawald spun him around about 3 times before he threw him down, and it's a good thing he got him when he did. I think Rob Nett's got a lot of speed out there, and he was getting ready to take off to the middle of the field and try to set some blocks up. Seawald just ran right through and over the top of all the blockers for Machebeuf.
1st and 10 for Bishop Machebeuf at their own 16-yard line. Once again, the quarterback is Kevin Murphy in a shotgun. Rob Nett is the lone setback. 2 receivers out to the right, 1 to the left. Man in motion to the left. There's the give to Rob Nett running right, and he's got nothing. Joe Rosenbrock was right there to meet him for a loss at the 13-yard line. He could not get to the outside, and it's a loss of 3 yards, 2nd down and 13. And, Dave, you've talked about it so many times, not only this season but today as well. That Beat Digger run defense is just too good.
Boy, they sure are. I'm not sure if Rosenbrock was on a blitz or not, but he's just doing a good job of filling those holes and stepping up there, reading his keys.
How about this? Basalt leads Faith Christian 9-6. That game is late in the second quarter. Shotgun Murphy throwing out to his right, incomplete. And great coverage by Tanner Morrow on Jordan LeGrand. That had no shot of being completed. 3rd and 13 to go for Bishop Machebeuf.
Plus that, it's a long ways for him to throw the ball. They were clear over there by the right hash mark, and the ball landed over here in front of the Digger bench. It's a long ways to try to throw that out pattern.
Florence now leads Eaton 14-7. Platte Canyon blowing up one of East 37-14. The score we don't have is Ken Denver and Coleridge. 3rd and 13. Back to throw. Murphy. Short drop. Slant over the middle is incomplete. Again, the intended receiver was LeGrand. And great coverage once again, this time by Trevor Blake at the 22-yard line. And Brush, in my opinion, Dave, played their best defensive series right there.
That's the best defensive series against the pass that we've seen all year, I would say. Blake again lights LeGrand up right after he tries to catch the ball.
It'll be Hare to punt. Jack Hare standing at the goal line, just inside the goal line. Now he's in the end zone, awaiting the snap. It's a high snap. He gets it off an excellent rush. It's a short kick. Bee Diggers have got to watch out. Bounces at the 30, takes a Buffalo's bounce, but down at the 35-yard line. A punt of only 22 yards, and the Bee Diggers are in business, to borrow that cliche, with 11-1 to go in the third, leading 21-0.
So thankful I'm up here in the booth. I can't feel the wind. I think that football felt the wind because it went way up in the air. It got up there and it just stopped. It came straight down.
Dave, you talk about the knockout punch. Could happen right now. 1st and 10 for the Beat Diggers at the 35-yard line of Bishop Machebeuf, leading 21-0. The backs are split. Seawald and Rosenbrock. Garcia back to throw after bobbling that football. He's got pressure. He tries to run out of it. He's going to be sacked at the 40-yard line. Too much penetration, and Cooper Wall throws him to the ground. And it's a loss of 4. They'll mark it down at the 39-yard line, 2nd and 14.
You know, after he bobbled the football to begin with, I think it just kind of messed the timing up on the whole play. But, it might be a loss of 4 now, but it might cause some big gains later on because now the Buffaloes have to respect that passing game a little bit. It should loosen up some of that run defense.
Yeah, because I'm sure they were anticipating, the Brush is going to run the football, and it didn't happen. 2nd down and 14, or at least that wasn't the intent. At the 39-yard line of Bishop Machebeuf, the pitch left to Morrow, swings it to the outside. Not much running room. He's going to be thrown down after a gain of 2. To the 37-yard line, the tackle was made by Sean Robnett. They might not even give him 2, maybe just 1.
Diggers have had about 30 run plays, only thrown the ball twice, or actually attempted to throw the ball twice, maybe 3 times if we count that sack.
It's at the 38-yard line. The Bee Diggers are taking a lot of time. They might have to call a timeout as Joe Rosenbrock is still on that sideline, and Randy Dreitz does have to call a timeout. Brought to you by Edwards Wright Price Market and Flowerland. Stop by and get what you need to refuel on game days. 9:43 to go, third quarter, in this opening round 2A playoff game from Beat Digger Stadium, and Brush leads by a score of 21-0. on 2 long touchdown runs from Joe Rosenbrock and a third by Tanner Morrow. And Brush now faces a 3rd and 13 at the 38-yard line. Interesting to see what would happen if the Beet Diggers pick up a few yards. I mean, there's no question if they pick up, let's say, 3, 4, 5 yards in the play, it's 4-down territory. But if they pick up nothing, do they just play the field position game and punt the football? But first things first, you have 2 receivers to the right. Kukas, the receiver, to the left. The lone setback is Seawald. On 3rd and 13 from the 38. Garcia's going to roll to his right, looking to throw. Throws on the run. That pass is going to be caught by Vince Albo. Short of a first down, but it's a sizable gain to the 27. It's a gain of 11. 4th down and a long 2, and the Beet Diggers undoubtedly will go for it, Dave.
You bet it was a nice play. Diggers did a good job up there on that line of scrimmage, and also with the backs blocking for Garcia to give him enough time to throw the ball. He just threw it right on the money. Albo did a good job at controlling the ball.
4th and 2, the Beet Diggers at the Bishop Machebeuf 27 will go for it, approaching the 9-minute mark. 3 in the backfield, Rosenbrock, Weiser, and Morrow. On 4th down, Garcia nearly got Bishop Machebeuf to jump handoff. First down right up the middle to Joe Rosenbrock. He's still on his feet, breaking tackles inside the 20 to the 18. He made it look easy, and the drive continues for the Beet Diggers.
I wish I could describe it for everybody back home the way he's running the ball, but that's the second time as he got through the hole, something gets him twisted, and he's running kind of sideways, and he just doesn't go down. He just keeps fighting and fighting. He's got the ball in his right hand.
Gain of 9 yards for Rosenbrock inside the 18 with 8:40 to go in the 3rd quarter. On 1st down, Garcia has 1 of 3 to choose from. No play action, looking to throw, and wide open along the left side is Kukas. He's got it. Touchdown for C.J. Kukas. And the Beet Diggers lead 27-0, 18 yards away.
It was a beautiful pass. The ball was thrown over his outside shoulder. Kukas was looking to the inside, so at the very last minute he had to turn his body around and catch it over his left shoulder. But he did a good job of coming down with the ball, and Garcia threw the ball right where it needed to be thrown to keep it from being intercepted.
He caught that football at around the 2-yard line, and that was it. He just waltzed into the end zone. Now the extra point to be attempted by Jesus Cardenas. Garcia puts it down. That kick is up, and that one is good. 8.5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Brush 28, Bishop Machebeuf 0 on 1010 KSIR and KSIR.com.